If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it. So just before I talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, I just want to say I have a really good friend of mine, Casey, and he was traveling to Croatia, and he brought back a shirt for me. If you could see that, that's the Kylo Ren there, and you know, it clearly states Dubrovnik, which was where they shot some of The Last Jedi, I think the Canto Bight scenes. Apparently, like, ever since they shot Star Wars there, they're like huge about Star Wars now. He took a bunch of pictures of the locations. They're, you know, they tell everyone in town where Star Wars was filmed. They're very proud of it. And for my friend to travel all the way to Croatia, and he was visiting other countries. Every year he goes to Vietnam, he goes somewhere, to think about me and to bring me back a shirt was really awesome. So thank you, Casey. I really appreciate it. I know you watch the channel. But let's get right to Kenobi. So I forecasted this in another video a while back when they were talking about doing the Boba Fett movie, when they started doing all the spin-offs. Solo was the first one. They talked about doing a Yoda. They talked about doing Boba Fett, and they talked about doing Kenobi. And then when Solo came out, everything started kind of falling apart. So it looks like they pivoted. So the Boba Fett movie we were going to get actually morphed into The Mandalorian. And now it appears that because there were location scouting and all stuff going on. I remember seeing Instagram workout sessions with Ewan McGregor growing his beard back and everything, prepping for the Obi-Wan feature film. Iger and everybody over at the Mouse House put the brakes on, said, hold up, stop, we're not going to go any further. And we got to redevelop all this stuff and figure out what our strategy is going forward. And the strategy going forward, obviously, is Disney Plus, where we're going to have the Cassian Andor series. We've already got The Mandalorian, which was probably the Boba Fett. But the thing about Boba Fett in general, I'll just pivot real quick. We already saw his story. We saw him in the prequels as a boy. We know he's a clone. We saw his full arc, and him, you know, then becomes a bounty hunter and everything, and then dies at the end of Return of the Jedi into the Sarlacc pit. Although some of the expanded universe stuff has him getting out of the Sarlacc pit, the bottom line is we've already seen Boba Fett's arc. So this is another, the Mandalorian will be another guy in Mandalorian armor. So that's really awesome. Could also give a chance for, if Boba Fett did escape, to come beyond the Mandalorian season 2. But anyway, Kenobi, Ewan McGregor has been geared up to do this movie or now TV series for years. They've always been asking him, and every time he does interviews, are you going to do another Star Wars? And his answer has always been, I'd love to, I'd love to, I'd love to. And so it looks like once again he's going to come back for this Disney Plus series. Now, I remember hearing months and months ago that this was going to be a 6-episode, 6-part film about Kenobi. Now, the big question is Kenobi going to be on Tatooine fighting Sand people? Is the story going to be down there where he's protecting? Or is this going to be some sort of chapter that happened in between everything that when the Clone Wars was going on, you know, where you've got Anakin off this way and then Obi-Wan on his own adventures and things like that? Are they going to do, is this going to be an offshoot? If it's an offshoot, you know, the big rumors of the last week have been nothing but, oh, is Darth Vader going to be in this? They're talking about a mechanical character coming back. And my thoughts were Darth Maul, because we got a little taste of him in the Solo film with the mechanical legs from the waist down and mechanical torso. You know, but, you know, in the Clone Wars, or Star Wars Rebels, I should say, is considered canon. And so, you know, at the end, you know, when Kenobi, the old Kenobi on Tatooine, and Darth Maul finally catches up to him at the fire, it looks like they're getting ready to roast marshmallows or hot dogs over a fire. Anyway, and then there's this quick little zoom, and then Darth Maul dies in Kenobi's arms. So, like, are they gonna go off that and do something different, or has there been ongoing battles between Darth Maul and Kenobi while he was trying to protect Skywalker on Tatooine? Who knows? Nobody knows. This is all just thoughts coming out of my head. And then somebody was like, well, you know, could be Darth Vader. I mean, all the bloggers, everybody's talking about the Darth Vader aspect to it, that, you know, that very ambiguous Darth Vader line in A New Hope where he says, I sense something I've not felt since... Anyway, and then he walks away. Everyone's saying, well, you know, it could be that, you know, he didn't really... you know, he could have had battles with him while he was trying to execute Order 66 and take out all the Jedis across the galaxy, and he's always been like one step ahead of him, and he never could catch Kenobi, and maybe thought Kenobi was dead. I don't know. The bottom line is we'll see how this all plays out. The only thing that I'm hoping for is that we do get some classic lightsaber stuff. And I'm not saying that Kenobi needs to fight other, like, Inquisitors and things like that, but that the fact that maybe he defends himself with the lightsaber, knocking blasters back, bolts and things like that, and slicing things up, because we need that for this series. But I would like to see a in-between Alec Guinness Revenge of the Sith chapter here, where maybe, you know, Luke was being protected well enough and nobody knew what was going on when it came to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, that he could go off and do some other things. Who knows? I still think it might have some sort of battle to do with the Sand People. Only because, you know, when he first appears to Luke and you hear that crazy screech and then he's like flailing his arms and all the Sand People drop and run. Maybe it's because he's been battling these guys for a long time and they knew what was coming. That's my thoughts. I'm so happy Ewan McGregor is going to be back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't wait for Disney Plus in November. I think it's November 12th or something like that. It launches. I will be subscribing. I hope everybody else does. What are your thoughts on Kenobi? What do you think the new series is going to be about? Let's talk about it in the comment section, and we'll see you on the next one.